by the time we take over the presidency, there will be a big crisis about growth. So inclusive, resilient, sustainable growth is what the world needs. And this would require a huge agenda around driving the momentum of growth. Secondly, I think it's very important that if you want to have growth, digitization, digital transformation, what India has done in the last 7 years is critical. We've built up digital public infrastructure, which has enabled us to do many things in terms of payments, in terms of co-win, in terms of digital identity. So if you look around the world, 4 billion people in the world do not have a digital identity. 2 billion people don't even have a bank account. 133 countries do not have a payment mechanism, a digital payment mechanism. So that's a huge model to be told to the world. I think thirdly, it's very important to focus on education, health, much of which has got impacted due to COVID. And therefore, how do you accelerate the pace of sustainable development goals? How do you lift people above poverty line? Fourthly, I think PM has laid out very strongly about a women-led development, because India now has more women. The latest statistics, India has more women, 1,074 women to just 1,074 women to 1,000 men. So a women, if you want to have growth in the world, if you want to drive momentum of prosperity, unless and until women are in leadership position, unless and until there's greater financial inclusion, unless and until we are able to ensure education, health, nutrition for women, it will not be possible. And therefore, he's focused on women-led development. And I think it's very important to spell out that 70 countries of the world are facing a global debt crisis. So if India is to be a leader of the developing world, we need to focus on global debt, which is very important. And lastly, I think it's very important that we are able to ensure a greater flow of finances, which the developed world had committed to in 2009 at Copenhagen, to flow into the developing world for both climate action and sustainable development goals. And this would require not just financing from the developed world, but also restructuring the multilateral financing institutions to become institutions for credit enhancement, for multilateral finance, for blended finance. And that means they move away from direct lending to indirect lending, and therefore they'll be able to do about 15x more lending than what they do at present.